What's up, y'all? On this video, I want to talk about why the jury is the most powerful force in the Diddy trial. You've already heard all of the analysis from all the lawyers. Everybody is telling you he's guilty from here to Friday. But the bottom line is the jury represents the people. We have lawyers, they're well abreast in the law. They're going to tell you based on this, based on the black and white law, as far as the wording, he's guilty. But I'm here to tell you that the most powerful force at that trial is the jury. Not my opinion, not your opinion, not the lawyer's opinion, not the U.S. attorney's opinion for the government, not the defense. I mean, it was important for both sides to put on their case, right? Even the judge, no, the judge is just there to facilitate and make sure the law is being applied appropriately and making sure Diddy gets a fair trial. However, the most powerful force in that courtroom is the jury. Make no mistakes about it. And that's what I'm going to cover today. Make sure for those that is watching the rebroadcast, if you feel as though we got educated here, give me a like. That'll be greatly appreciated. For those that's coming in, make sure you give me a like. That'll be greatly appreciated. I'm going to give you a breakdown why the jury is the most important group of people in the Diddy trial courtroom and how you can think about this. It's another way you could think about it. The jury holds the final decision, not the judge. Yeah, the judge will sentence if that's the case, but the jury holds the final decision. It's not the judge. They're the most important people. That's why when we go in there, hold on one second. Give me 1 second. We got some people that shouldn't be here. So let me take care of that. Give me 1 second, folks. But yeah, we're going to get over that why the jury is important. For those that's coming in, welcome. Thank you for coming. But there's some people I don't want to be here. So they got to go. And we're going to take care of that right now. Right now. That's what we're going to do. Yeah, we're not playing. As a matter of fact, if you just did that, you got to go anyway. I don't want you here. I don't like that comment. So you got to go. But anyway, let's go to the live. Jury is the most important people in the courtroom, folks. Make no mistakes about it. And we are going to talk about why. Subscribers, custom, days. Let's go with 5 days, man. That's just to get the trolls out of here. All right. We're not going to have all that spamming other people's channel. And I know they're responsible for it too. So we're not doing that. All right. The jury holds the final decision, not the judge. The jury decides guilt or innocence on each charge. No matter how strong the evidence or how aggressive the prosecution is, if the jury doesn't buy it, Diddy walks. Okay? No matter how strong the evidence is or how aggressive the prosecution is, if the jury doesn't buy it, Diddy walks. It don't matter what your favorite YouTuber says. It doesn't matter. Their opinion doesn't matter. And I always tell you, mine don't either. So it doesn't matter how strong the evidence or how aggressive the prosecution is. If the jury doesn't buy it, Diddy walks. The judge oversees the law, but the jury determines the facts. The judge oversees the law, but the jury determines the facts. In the courtroom, the judge called the shots, but the jury seals your fate. You hear what I said? In the courtroom, yeah, the judge called the shots. Whatever. Just shrug them off. The jury seals your fate, though, not the judge. But if it was a bench trial, this is not a bench trial. What do I mean by a bench trial? Meaning we don't have a jury. We just have the judge decide it. That's not the case this time. They represent the people, the jury. A federal jury is made up of everyday citizens, not lawyers or not politicians. Their job is to bring common sense and fairness into the legal system that can sometimes feel rigid and technical. Their verdict reflects what society believes is just. You hear what I said? Their verdict reflects what society believes is just. They represent the people. I don't care what these YouTubers are saying. They don't represent the people. They represent people that influence them. Because if you're not objective here, you're being influenced. Okay? They're being influenced. They're the target of both sides strategies. Of both sides strategies. Every opening statement, piece of evidence, and witness is crafted to sway the jury. The defense attorneys may humanize Diddy, but the prosecutors try to paint a pattern of criminal behavior. Everything you see in court is a show, and the jury is the audience that matters the most. None of these people in here matter. I don't care if they're a lawyer. I don't care. They don't matter. Okay? I don't matter. They don't matter. Your big YouTuber don't matter. Nobody matters. Nobody. I don't care how colorful their language is. I don't care where they went to school. I don't care how educated they are about the law. Their opinion doesn't matter. The jury matters. And they know that. They'll tell you that. They might not like how I'm delivering it, but the jury matters. Again, every opening statement, piece of evidence, and witnesses are crafted to sway the jury. Defense attorneys may humanize Diddy, while prosecutors try to paint that pattern of criminal behavior. Everything you see in court, I repeat again, everything you see in court is a show, and the jury is the audience that matters the most. Their emotions and instinct matter. Their emotions and instincts matter. The jury don't just allow logic, emotion, body language, credibility of witnesses. These all matter. The jury just doesn't follow logic. Emotion, body language, credibility of witnesses, these all matter. What's the credibility of Cassie? And she originally didn't go to the police. She should have went to the police, but no, she did not. She went to him to ask for money. Stop playing with me. Stop playing. She should have went to the police. She did not go to the police. She went to her lawyer and requested for money. That's what happened. The only justice they want is money. That's it. Okay? And like I said, I understand why she wanted the money, but that's the kind of justice she was looking for. A single juror finds reasonable doubt can hang the jury, forcing a mistrial. That's how powerful they are. They can nullify the law. Here we go again. They can nullify the law. They can nullify the law. In rare cases, jurors can say, yes, he technically broke the law, but we didn't believe he should be punished for it. This is called jury nullification. That's how powerful their vote is. I have to repeat it again. In rare cases, jurors can say, yes, he technically broke the law, but we don't believe he should be punished for it. This is called jury nullification. I do not agree that Diddy should be punished for this. He made that woman a millionaire. You're not a millionaire, the one that's listening. You're not a millionaire. You're not a millionaire. He made Cassie a millionaire. You think I feel sorry for her? And she left Ryan Leslie, and she talking about, well, who am I going to date other than Diddy but Jay-Z, but he married? No, she had a choice. She had a choice. And she still said she didn't hate Sean. Still said it. Okay? So it's called jury nullification. That's how powerful their vote is. They don't see the public pressure. Unlike the media, the jurors are not allowed to watch the news or social media during the trial. They live in a bubble, making their verdict purely about what's presented in court. So yeah, unlike the media, the jurors are not allowed to watch the news or social media during the trial. They live in a bubble, making their verdict purely about what's presented in court. Now, the bottom line is the jury is the conscience of the courtroom. In a case with celebrity, money, and media frenzy like Diddy, they are the ones stripped of bias and tasked with answering the most important questions. Did the government prove this case beyond reasonable doubt? Yes or no? That's their job. So I'm here to tell you, all these lawyers and stuff giving their opinion and stuff like that, they all gave their opinion during Casey Anthony, and they all were wrong. The jury mattered the most. That's why Casey Anthony is home. They matter the most. None of us. So that's what I wanted to say right there. They matter the most. I will be going live multiple times today with these short videos to do a little education and go from there. I am going to flood the airways until they get a verdict. I promise you this. I'm going to flood it, the airways, until we get a verdict. I'm going to flood it. The jury matters the most. Not me, not you, not the judge, not even the judge. The judge is just there to apply the law and make sure everything is running smoothly. This is not a bench trial. If it was a bench trial, the judge will matter the most. What is a bench trial? That means it's not a jury trial. It's a bench trial. The judge sit on the bench, don't he? That means the judge will decide it. That's not the case. And did you know I followed a case where it was a bench trial? It was a case out of Massachusetts. This young lady was accused of encouraging her then online boyfriend to unalive himself. If you remember that case, I covered it. A lawyer reached out to me after that. That's one of the cases. So I did follow a bench trial here. I know exactly how it goes. This is not a bench trial, so the judge don't matter. I'm sorry. Mr. Judge Submarinian does not matter. The jury matters at the end. They seal the fate, not him. He provides the verdict. I mean the sentencing. That's when he matters. You remember that case? She was found guilty. But the way the judge was explaining it, she thought she was getting off and she wasn't. And I said, wait a minute, keep listening to what the judge says. She going to jail. You said Powerfull lawyer says some things that will stick with the juror's mind. We'll see. We'll see if it sticks. But he didn't do such a bad job like people are reporting. He didn't do such a bad job. They're lying. So that's just what it is. And no, they can't even spam the channel right now. They can't even do that. Because I got it set. You gotta be subscribed for 5 days. They can't even spam right now. So I'm gonna get what I gotta say out, get off, and get back live with a new presentation. I'm not messing with them. So that's what's happening. They're not telling you none of this stuff right here. They didn't tell you nothing about this, that the jury is the most powerful. Not their comments. Their comments don't matter. Their videos don't matter either. Because my videos don't matter. So I'm going to repeat this one more time for the March of Dimes. I'm going to put some more paint where it ain't. And that's what it is. They hold the final decision, not the judge. The jury decides guilt or innocence on each charge. No matter how strong the evidence or how aggressive the prosecution is, if the jury doesn't buy it, Diddy walks. The judge oversees the law, but the jury determines the facts. Do you hear me? The judge oversees the law, but the jury determines the facts. No, I'm not protecting my peace. I'm just flooding the algorithm. That's what I'm going to do. That's what I plan to do today. I feel better today. In the courtroom, the judge calls the shots, but the jury seals the fate. Ashe. I said in the courtroom, the judge calls the shots, but the jury seals the fate. They represent the people. They represent you and I. Yes, they truly represent the people. A federal jury is made up of everyday citizens, not lawyers or politicians. Their job is to bring common sense and fairness into the legal system that can sometimes feel rigid or technical. Their verdict reflects what society believes is just. So if what society believes is just for Luigi Mangione, I agree with the jury nullification for Luigi Mangione after what I don't went through with this whole system and the way they treat elders. Okay? So they don't need me on that jury. They're the target of both sides' strategies. Every opening statement, piece of evidence, and witness is crafted to sway the jury. The defense attorneys may humanize Diddy, while prosecutors might try to paint a pattern of criminal behavior. Everything you see in court, it's a show, and the jury is the audience that matters the most. None of those people in the courtroom, none of the media, none of the lawyers in there, their opinion don't matter. You like to think their opinion matters because they'll educate you, right? That's good. They'll educate you about the law, but their opinion don't matter to the jury. That's why we have a jury. They're comprised of everyday people. That's not even lawyers. Their emotions and instincts matter too. Jurors don't just follow logic, emotion, body language, credibility of witnesses. These all matter. A single juror who finds reasonable doubt can hang the jury, forcing a mistrial. Just a single juror. And look, here's what they're not telling you. They can nullify the law, and it's legal. In rare cases, jurors can say, yes, he technically broke the law, but we don't believe he should be punished for it. This is called jury nullification. That's how powerful their vote is. I don't believe he should be punished for this, and he made that woman a millionaire. I don't believe so. He made her and her husband a millionaire. Okay? Paying James rent. Why is she still accepting his rent if he's a bad guy? Why is she still accepting his rent? Why is he paying her legal fees and she's still accepting his rent? Y'all better get out of here with this. I don't believe he should go to jail for this. Okay? I don't care what your famous YouTubers say. I don't care what they say. I don't care. He made one of them a millionaire. A multi-millionaire. She don't never have to work again in her life if she put a percentage of that into an interest-bearing account. She would never have to work another day in her life. Or her husband. And I don't agree with that. I believe her husband should be working. I don't believe her husband should be living off his money. I don't agree with it. Okay? I don't agree with it. So I don't care what y'all say. I don't agree with it. I don't care if you don't like it. That's right. Free Diddy. Since some other big YouTubers going to be like talking crap, I'm going to be the one to say free Diddy then. Nah, man, you don't make that woman a millionaire. She should have went to the police first. If you want justice, go to the police. And then if you want money, go to the other lawyers, Ashe. I don't mind her good and getting money, but she didn't want justice. She wanted money, which means that she wanted to be made whole. There's a difference. Just like the lawyers said to them, why are you suing? I want justice. That's not why you sue in civil court. You sue for money, dummy. But they were told to say that. They sound stupid. You want money. I would have said it. I want my money. I want to be made whole and get my money. Justice is for criminal court. Neither one of them went to the police. Neither one. This is a money grab. Neither one went to the police. And I'm going to tell y'all something. I already know how this is going to go. It's either going to be a hung jury or he's going to be acquitted on all charges. Remember, I said it. The bottom line is the jury is the conscience of the courtroom. In the case with celebrity, money, and media frenzy like Diddy, they are the ones stripped of bias and tasked with answering the most important question. Did the government prove this case beyond reasonable doubt? I rest my case. Did they prove this beyond reasonable doubt? They may have, but guess what? I don't agree he should be punished for it. You don't made this woman and her husband a millionaire. That's why they live in fancy right now and they ain't living in her mother house no more. I don't give a damn how many dirty looks he giving the court. He should have been smiling at Diddy. He the reason why your ass don't got to work, sir. He the reason why you don't have to work. If I was you, I wouldn't accept that money. After the way he treated your wife, you going to accept that money? And I bet you he divorced her. I bet you he divorced her. He going to try to take them kids and she going to have to pay him a grip of money. I bet you. I bet you. I bet you. Give it a few years. Give it a few years. She's going to be paying him alimony. These people are always on code. They're always on code. No, money cannot fix that. But I do understand, again, why she wanted the money. So, sir, being that you don't have to work, that's because of Diddy. He's the reason why you don't have to work. He's the reason. Let's be clear here. The truth hurts. He's the reason why this man don't have to work, and y'all listening to me do. Y'all got to work every day. Don't feel sorry for him. Don't feel sorry for him. He's sitting up there screw facing in court. What you screw facing for? You should be happy. You ain't got to work no more. You screw facing for? She the one was with him for 11 years. You weren't. I'm tired of people. You got to be real in this world. Y'all better wake up. Y'all better wake up and keep your eyes open out here and be real. Don't sit up here and let somebody woo you to sleep and rock you to sleep. Y'all crazy? He made that dude a millionaire. Don't sit up here and let these YouTubers rock you to sleep, man. Don't let them rock you to sleep. I would love for her to be with a brother and made that brother a millionaire. That's how I really feel about it. That money going back and watch. I guarantee you, if he divorces her, she's going to have to pay him alimony because he's not working, and he's going to try to take the kids from her. I've seen this happen before. There's nothing new under the sun. That was blood money they received. That was blood money. Anytime y'all go to the trip to Paris or wherever y'all going, y'all better thank Diddy, whether he's in jail or not, because he's responsible for you guys living a comfortable lifestyle. How do you feel about that? She was getting ready to go out there and start performing again. Right? I don't care what this dude did to me. Fuck his money. No. I bet you he had something to do. You better sue him. They didn't go to the police. The feds took over this case. They didn't go to the feds. The feds came in and took over this case. That's why he's here now. So don't let them rock you to sleep. If they really cared and want justice, they should have been went to the police. But no, she wrote a book and wanted him to see it, and then all of a sudden she wanted 30 million. It was about money. Don't let these people rock you to sleep, man. She might be a nice person, but I'm being real. You see, the truth hurts. The feds contacted her 2 weeks later. Yes. So I just wanted to say the jury matters. The jury matters. But don't get me wrong. There's certain people, they don't give a damn if it's blood money. They just going to take that money back in their community. That's what they're going to do. They're taking it back in their community. Because eventually he could say, I can't do this no more. I can't do this no more. You know what I'm saying? I can't. Next thing you know, that money is funneled back to his family. I just wish Diddy had a woke up sooner. I wish he had a woke up sooner. He didn't. He's just as responsible for this as anybody else. We keep getting tricked out of our money and it's going back to them. We keep getting tricked every time. We keep getting tricked out of our money. They sitting up here trying to rock you to sleep. Everybody knows. Everybody know. They're not going to say it, but deep down, they know that man ain't got to work no more. And it was Diddy, the reason why he don't have to work no more. if they don't blow through the money. You said, why you think Diddy still paying her rent? Scoop, it was said in court. She said it in court. Jane said it in court that he's still paying her rent. It came out in court, and she said, yes, he's still paying my rent. Because he owned the spot. He just put her up in that spot, but he still owns it. She didn't give up that apartment. Why? Because she didn't want to be in court. She didn't get, if he's such a bad guy, why didn't she give up the apartment? Y'all better think. Y'all sitting here letting these people fool you? Are y'all crazy? And I'm hearing people like, oh man, you ain't no more. Somebody said ain't no more common sense. Fucker, please. The fuck you talking about? Ain't no more common sense. You not practicing it, bitch. Okay? You not practicing it. Talking about ain't nobody got common sense. Well, common sense will tell you they don't put the wool over everybody's eyes. She don't give a fuck about justice. She ain't moving out that apartment. She must not be that afraid of him because she's still living in an apartment. He could easily have somebody come do something to her. She's not afraid. So what is that telling you? You don't tell me what I need to do. Go to the bushes. Don't tell me nothing about what I need to do. I'm a grown ass man. I'm almost 50. Don't tell no almost 50-year-old what to do. I'm almost 50. I'm in a protected class. I'm gonna say what I want. Don't tell me I'm supposed to be unbiased. These people, you go tell Tisa that, yo. Don't come tell me that. Go tell Ticket TV that he need to be unbiased. Don't come tell me almost. I'm older than both of them. Don't sit up here and tell me that. Don't sit here and tell me I need to be biased on nothing. Only thing nobody told me to go live. So you ain't got to tell me to be unbiased. If I want to be biased, then I'll start being biased. They being biased. So how come I can't be biased? Go tell them that. No, don't tell an almost 50-year-old that he need to be biased. I don't live to this age. I mean, I made it through a lot of shit. I made it through a lot. I survived the Reagan administration. I survived 9/11 because I was working over there at the time. Nobody can tell me nothing. That's why I don't work for nobody. You can't tell me anything. So don't come in here and tell me I need to be whatever. I don't care if I've known you for 5 years, I'll block you. Because I don't have a right to tell nobody nothing. I'm just giving my opinion. And I told you my opinion doesn't matter. My opinion doesn't matter. I just don't like what's happening here. Us brothers, we get treated any kind of way. And y'all, we just sit there with popcorn and watch it. Did you know one of the guards that was in there, he even said Puff getting buffaloed around. He said it. He said, bro, these people could do whatever they want to you, man. He said this to me. He recommended a book to me. He said they can get away with whatever. He said this. And this wasn't a brother that told me. He just shook his head. He was like, damn. He just shook his head. Yeah. Can't tell me nothing about being unbiased. Do you know how hard it is to get on here and talk to strangers? Meaning that I probably said something now that probably lost subscribers. I can't live like that because if not, I won't make content. Y'all don't have that power over me. I've been making content for a very long time, whether nobody watch or not. You're not going to sit here and say one little thing to try to ruin what I'm doing. I've been doing it too long. I'm a veteran. I've been doing it too long. There's always going to be somebody watching. Just like somebody said before this trial started, well, we're all going to unsubscribe to you. Go ahead, bitch. Go and subscribe. Go ahead. Don't sit up here and try to tell me what I'm doing. I'm almost 50. Don't try to tell me what I'm trying to do. Unsubscribe. That's it. And they ain't been back because I blocked them all, actually. But one still comes in here. She's the first one in here every time I go live. Did y'all know that? And she was the one that started it. Every time I go live, she's the very first one, and she always liked it because she know what she did was fucked up. Yeah. You know how I know it's her? Because when she was cool with me, she was always the first in. Sometimes she don't say nothing. She is the first. She always it's the first view and the first like. It's always her, and she the one started that. And she know I didn't do anything. The show doesn't stop, baby. The show doesn't stop. But these people are targeting me. They are, and they targeting a lot of other people. They targeting us because they know what I'm saying is correct. Ain't nobody talking about jury nullification. Ain't nobody really talking about the law like that except for the lawyers. But I'm not a lawyer though. I didn't say let me see. So I didn't say, what do you call it? If somebody comes in there under a pseudonym, I didn't say their name. Somebody did though. I didn't say it. That's how you know that person is protected. I can't wait to start following trials again when these people are not around. I really can't. They're not going to be on the Rex Heuermann case. They're not. You know what they're going to be on though? I'm going to see them in New York again. They're going to be on Luigi's case. They are. They are, because I already said it was going to be a big ass case. It's going to be bigger than Puff's case. Y'all know that? Did you know Puff's case wasn't even the trial of the century? It wasn't. It wasn't the trial of the century. Luigi's will be bigger than his. Brian Kohlberger case is going to be bigger than Puff's. Did y'all know that? Yeah, because it's involving a potential serial killer. Rex Heuermann case might be bigger. This case wasn't that big. It didn't get like the fanfare I thought it was going to get. It didn't. You don't have like people that are tourists coming over there in the droves to stand out in front of the court to see what's going on. It's not. This is not it. I just explained jury nullification. I'm saying jury nullification for a reason. When you're clear cut guilty, I can nullify it. It's legal. I can nullify it. See, I don't know why. Did you just come in? You might have just came in. You can nullify as a juror. You can nullify, which means that yes, he's guilty, but I don't agree with the sentence. I can nullify it and say he's not guilty. You guys, man, some people really ain't comprehending it, yo. They really not, unless they just came in. You can nullify it, and it's legal. It's just that the jury instructions, when the judge charged the jury, he's not going to tell them that. What are the past examples of nullification? That's a good question. Give me a second. Let me go to my notes. I was waiting for somebody to say that. All right. So you want some past examples of jury nullification. The Fugitive Slave Act cases in the 1850s. What happened? Northern juries often refused to convict people who helped slaves escape. You mean to tell me, brother, you're going to find somebody guilty that was trying to help a slave escape, or you going to nullify? That's one. Jury verdicts not guilty repeatedly. Why it matters. Jurors refuse to enforce a law they believe was morally wrong, helping fuel the abolitionist movement. How about the Prohibition era in the 1920s and 30s? What happened? During the alcohol prohibition, juries frequently acquitted people charged with illegal alcohol production and distribution. Thousands of not guilty verdicts happened. Why does it matter? Jury nullification helped show that public no longer supported the law, which led to a repeal and prohibition in 1933. I don't support the Mann Act. So that's why I said I'm nullifying. I don't support it. How about the Vietnam War draft resistors? What happened? Some juries refused to convict young men who avoided the draft. Jury verdicts not guilty in selected high profile cases. Why does it matter? This decision reflected a widespread public opposition of the war. How about this? How about the Jim Crow South? What happened? White juries refused to convict white defendants accused of murdering or terrorizing black people. I have to give it all bad to you. Sometimes it's bad and sometimes it's good. I have to give it to you. I don't like when they nullified in that situation. They found the people not guilty even with overwhelming evidence. Jury nullification is a double-edged sword, though. It can be used to stand against injustice, slavery, censorship, or unjust wars, or protect injustice, racial violence during Jim Crow. So it is a double-edged sword. In the Diddy trial, if one juror feels the government didn't meet its burden or sees the case as flawed, like I do, they can refuse to convict, even if the rest disagree. There you go. I didn't agree with the Zimmerman verdict. That's one I believe they practiced jury nullification on that because the police told George Zimmerman to stop following Trayvon, and he followed them anyway. He should have been found guilty, but I believe they nullified. So it is a double-edged sword. Don't get me wrong. That's why I had to give you the bad too. It could be bad because somebody could have said, "Well, Max, what happens if it's bad?" So that's why I gave it to you. Do you realize, even with the Brian Kohlberger case, it looks like they caught him dead to rights because his DNA was found on the sheath of the knife, the sheath casing of the knife, right? I still feel like he should get a fair trial. And if the evidence is there, right, I'm going to say yes, they need to convict him. And he's facing the death penalty, I believe. I think he's facing the death penalty. Oh, really? I didn't know. 65. Them bikes don't even go that fast. They go, the most they go is 25 or 30. Those New York e-bikes, if they go that fast. A lot of people have those bikes around here too. They have they have those e-bikes. They be delivering on them and stuff. Oh, really? Two of them dressed alike. It could have been because the picture that they showed in the Starbucks, it didn't look like him. That person didn't look like him. It could have been two people acting in concert. They don't have to wear helmets. I would wear one if I was on an e-bike. Some of those e-bikes go really fast. This guy, he delivered my food on a bike, and I saw him going down the street. That bike goes fast. He was gone. I know you don't get the notification. They're not trying to notify nobody with me, man. They're not. I'm telling you. They're not. They're just not going to do it. Just not going to do it. They already know what I'm about. And I'm not saying nothing wrong either. But then I ain't saying the right thing. I ain't saying what they want. You know what I'm saying? But yeah. And then what they said was she didn't have no reason why. She already got her money. So that's because I believe she felt like she had to. They met with her 2 weeks later. And yet, guess what the Punisher said? When they met with him, they said, do you need a lawyer? Saying to him, do you need a lawyer? Because you say something wrong, you might need a lawyer. Why would he need a lawyer? He didn't do nothing wrong. He just talked to you, but they say you might want to get a lawyer. See? Before we, so but I just wanted to give you all that. I'll be back. I don't want to keep this too long. So I think I'm done. It's 3:33 right now, and my job is done. I just want to talk about how powerful the jury is, and I'll be right back. Um, they probably knew. Yeah, you need a lawyer. I think you need a lawyer. I think I'll be like, no, I don't. I don't need no lawyer. I ain't do nothing wrong. But then again, I'd be like, okay, maybe I do. And they came to his house too. How come they didn't bring the other entertainers in? Because they probably didn't like what they were saying. Anyway, guys, thank you for watching. I will be back in a